Welcome everyone. Welcome to The Crowned Life. And today I want to talk to you about how to stop being lied to. If you're like me, you have been lied to a lot in your life and you wonder like, why the heck does this always happen to me? Why do people lie to me? And I've had to do a lot of personal healing on this, and I'm going to share with you what I've learned, okay? The short answer, for those of you who have a very short attention span and you want to get the information and go, I'm going to tell you really quick and to the point. The answer is stop needing to be lied to, okay? And I know some of you are like, what? I don't need to be lied to. Okay, well then stick around to the end of the video and then I'm going to explain it to you. But that's the short answer. Stop needing to be lied to. Stop having a fantasy that needs to be fed. Stop having a false paradigm that needs to be maintained and kept alive, in order for you to feel secure about your life. By people feeding you with false hope, false optimism. Start being okay with things not being okay. That's the challenge here. For people who want to live in the truth, they don't want to be lied to, you've got to be okay with things not being okay. And then you're dealing with reality. And when you deal with reality, then you're less prone to deception and every bad thing that comes along with it. Let me give you an example. Let's talk about relationships, because I know a lot of people watch my channel. They are, watching because relationships are very important to them. And so, in relationships, we see this deception play out a lot because people are lonely. And when they meet somebody, they have this need or want within them to believe that this new person they've met is the one, that this is going to be the person that puts an end to their search for the one. This is going to be somebody who fills some void within them, and then the search will be over. The loneliness will finally end by meeting this person. Unfortunately, that mindset really makes you vulnerable to deception. So be aware of this, particularly if you do deal with loneliness. My advice is let people show you who they are, not tell you. Key difference here, let them show you who they are and observe, not absorb. Let them demonstrate to you their habitual choices. This takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of time, but if you sit back and take this observatory role of getting to know who is this person, regardless of what they say, what do they keep doing? What do they keep doing? What are their actions telling me they really value, they really believe, they really trust, okay? Then you know the truth and what you can really open yourself up to and be vulnerable to. But like I said, a lot of people, they're lonely and they just want to dive head into a new relationship believing, maybe even getting love bombed into believing, this is the one, when they haven't really gotten to know the person at that level to really know that for sure and in a solid way. And it's, again, going back to this need of feeding this fantasy, this dream, this illusion, keeping it alive, But when you get to a place in your dating life where you're okay with that person revealing themselves as not being the one, and you know that you're going to be okay, and you're okay with, them not being okay because you know that you're going to find something, then, you are less prone to deception in relationships. I'm going to give you another example. Some of the people who watch my channel watch a lot of tarot, and I want to talk to you about, tarot viewers and tarot readers. A lot of times what we're getting on here is viewers who need a story and, they've got one for you. The readers have got one for you. And I will say, as someone who, has done readings here on YouTube, you learn very quickly as a reader on YouTube that viewers respond favorably when you put out clickbaity titles, clickbaity messages like they miss you, they're coming back, they regret it, this type of thing. You get a lot of views, you make more money, and unfortunately lying to people gets rewarded. And I don't want to blame it on this forum. It happens everywhere. It's happening all over. It happens in relationships. It happens in politics. I'll talk about that in a moment. But it's because of this human nature that we have. We want to be told some happily ever after story. And so what you get a lot on here is a lot of people who are putting out tarot readings on YouTube and watching tarot readings on YouTube are doing so for very low frequency reasons, which is to avoid or escape reality, something that I heard Teal Swan call spiritual Novocaine, which I thought was absolutely spot on. This is why tarot has a bad reputation on here for being fake and woo-woo, because yeah, unfortunately the readers who are playing into what the viewers are clicking on and what they want to hear, they're getting rewarded on this forum. And the people who are keeping it real and trying to help people evolve and advance spiritually, which is a very sober energy, right? And a very down-to-earth, grounded energy, not this kind of Neptuning out and let me avoid and evade reality. I mean, those people, they don't get rewarded on this forum, unfortunately, because we've got a lot of people who want to be lied to, and that's why there's a lot of lies. When you stop needing to be lied to, the liars stop getting rewarded for their work. So yeah, when readers start getting more views for telling the truth, then we're going to get more honest readers, but that's going to require more viewers who aren't looking to be lied to. Now let's talk about politics. Let's give it, because wow, there's a lot of that going on right now. And I know some of you might want to click out because you're like, I'm not about politics. Guess what? You might not be about politics, but politics is about you. And we see this going on more than ever right now with this lockdown, this global lockdown that we're all under. And so, and then we're coming into an election season. So some of you wonder, why is it that these politicians are constantly lying? I'll tell you why. Because you keep voting for their lies. You keep voting. It's like, if people keep getting rewarded for lying to you, whether this is in relationships, they get the girl because they tell her they got a good job or they got a whatever, whatever their story is, okay? Or the readers, they keep getting the clicks because they're telling you what you want to hear, that this person's sorry when they're not really sorry, or they're coming back when they never are, then people like that get rewarded. And it's the same with the politicians. And it's a lot of times because many of you practice parties over principles, right? You vote for a party line, or you vote for groupthink rather than, is this person principled? And when the principles of that politician or that party fails because there's no honesty, or it's revealed there's a lack of integrity in some respect, you stay loyal anyway, parroting party lines. Because you don't follow principles. You follow politicians or parties. And there's a lot of naivete going on, which creates a lot of deception. There are people that have this very naive mindset. Oh, my politician, my favorite politician, or, my favorite news reporter would never lie to me. They're honest. I know I can trust them. Well, you got to get honest with yourself about, human behavior. If you can feel tempted to lie on a resume to get a job so that you can pay your bills, then how much more tempted would a politician be to lie in order to get a, nearly guaranteed 4-year term with high pay, power, and influence? And how much more tempted can corporate conglomerates who own most of the media here in the United States, how tempted can they be to buy, people off for instant, access to that power and influence? The recent lockdowns have revealed just how far-reaching the naivete is. And if it's not that, it's just outright willful ignorance. People are conveniently uninformed about the other side of the argument or opposing views. And this is in the information age of all things. There's really no excuse for people being ignorant. Even when the full facts are put in full view, there's cognitive dissonance going on. And I've seen this on my channel. I've put some things out on my page. For example, recently, I posted about, recent CDC reports coming from Centers for Disease Control, facts and figures, their most recent support in the month of, I guess it's August, where they are reporting that, the COVID-only deaths have been at 0.04%. And of those deaths, it was 90% elderly people. So, what did I hear? Crickets. Crickets. Nobody wants to talk about it. People are in denial, And this news, by the way, recently, it broke out in Italy, and people were informed over there that the actual death rates, COVID-only death rates, were very, very low, and they were concentrated in a group of people who, were elderly. And what did people do? They returned to their regular programming. Denial, cognitive dissonance. Okay, so when people are presented with the truth that contradicts a false reality being that everybody's killing over and dying over this thing, what do? They trust their authorities. They trust and obey this authority. They don't question authority at all cost, even if it's killing them financially. And that's why we see a lot of businesses going out of business right now. It's compliance with their own demise. They've gone along with this. Have you complied with your own demise, by the way, out of fear and insecurity that you are depending on other people to provide for you, whether it's somebody in a relationship or a tarot reader or politicians, people in media?
Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?
You needing somebody like the government to make you feel safe and secure because you're not secure within yourself. This insecurity drives people to beg for their own destruction. So, when people stop needing the authority to tell them what to do and how to feel, and what they need to do to feel secure about it, then you're going to be less prone to manipulation by people who are seeking to abuse authority for reasons of control and profit. What I'm basically saying to you in short is this: stop needing to be lied to. Stop needing reality to be anything other than what it is. When you drop the need to force an outcome or have a false belief system affirmed by others, or even a true belief system, when you stop needing other people to affirm you and make you feel secure, then you're not going to be vulnerable to those who are going to play you like a puppet by telling you what you want to hear. And they know you want to hear it, and that's why they're telling you to get the desired outcome. Stop also needing to avoid conflict. Stop needing to avoid uncomfortable feelings like disappointment, disapproval. Expect that people are going to disappoint you. They will. That's reality. That's not being negative. That's being real. Okay, we're all human. We're going to disappoint people. And know that, yeah, if people are bound to disappoint you, well, let them show you. Let them show you in what way with their humanness are they going to disappoint you, and how much, before you stake loyalty in their cause. right? As opposed to running off, getting charmed off by some chameleon who's telling stories to whomever and saying whatever they need to say to get what they want. Also, learn to recognize gaslighting in people, politicians, the media. Gaslighting is a way that people keep a false paradigm alive by trash talking those with different views, calling them crazy, conspiracy theorists, wackos, fringe, extremists, putting these labels on people that are purposed to quiet dissenters. Learn to recognize clickbaity titles here on YouTube and the tarot channels and elsewhere. There's stuff like they miss you, they want you back, they regret it, they're sorry, blah, 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 blah. This is all about feeding your fantasy. When you do that, then you're going to stop being lied to, because people are going to learn that it doesn't work, that they're not going to get rewarded, that you no longer believe them, you're no longer going to watch those videos, you're no longer going to pay attention to their news coverage and tune in, and you're no longer going to parrot their words by gaslighting your friends and family who disagree with the official narrative. And that, my friends, is how you stop being lied to. I hope that y'all got something good out of this. And wishing you, as always, the best, but more importantly, the truth. That's what sets you free, right? Might piss you off, but it sets you free. Stay free.